Welcome to our Starseed series. I'm Urania with Urania Heart Metaphysics.
And I'm Jackie B with Grow with Jackie B LLC and the Free and Fully Expressed movement.
This video series is where we break down the Starseed soul groups, sharing our key essence to spark your remembrance. And just keep in mind, you will likely resonate with many of these Starseed soul groups, yet there may be a few that are most dominant in your life at this time.
100%. So let's dive in. Some people don't feel called to lead from the front. They feel called to orientate. They are the ones that you turn to when things start feeling uncertain. Not because they have all the answers, so to say, but because their presence alone help people feel less lost. They don't need to be loud. They don't need to demand or dominate, right? They just seem to know where the true north is, even when the path isn't clear. So in this video, we're going to dive in and explore three star seeds that connect to guidance, leadership, and direction. Alpha Centauri, Hadar, also known as Beta Centauri, and Polaris. So as you listen, don't look for labels, so to say. Just notice what steadies within you. Let's first dive into Alpha Centauri. The energy of these star seeds for me is like being the bridge, translation, adaptation. So Alpha Centauri star seeds, they really are the natural translators of life. They move easily between worlds, between the emotions and logic, between different belief systems, and between people that don't normally understand each other. They often are the ones that can see both sides without losing empathy. They are the ones that can take complex concepts and really make them understandable, right? They are the ones that help ideas actually truly land and be embodied. And because of this, Alpha Centauri starseeds adapt quickly, right? But sometimes too quickly. They can shape shift to meet the moment, changing their tone, their language, their behavior to help others feel comfortable. But this also could be the shadow, right? Because they can lose their self while they're trying to be a bridge for everything and everyone else. And over time, they forget which parts are adaptations and which parts are actually them. The gift they hold is that connection and coherence. And how these star seeds truly integrate is really staying rooted while being the bridge, remembering you don't have to disappear when you're helping others. So, really, this Alpha Centauri energy thrives off of translation that includes self translation, so not leaving them out of the mix.
So, indicators of Alpha Centauri star seeds in the birth chart hold themes of connection and integration. So, the signs that reflect these themes the most are Gemini, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, and Pisces. And this is most important if your rising sun and moon are placed in these signs and or there are two or more planets in these signs. So let's start with Gemini. Gemini are the natural translators. They can see multiple sides and perspectives at once and therefore help with landing ideas and integration and really bridging that gap. They are really good at seeing or getting curious about what's the missing link here. And once they are able to really see the different sides, the different perspectives, they can bridge that gap and help everything to integrate really nicely. Libra. So Libra is the natural bridge for the extremes in our life. Also the natural bridge between perspectives and within duality, right? And so they have a desire to find that neutral ground, to find that peace and harmony. And once they find that peace and harmony or that center point, they are able to bridge that gap in a sense. They're able to negotiate and even translate energy so that the merging can happen. And so they are also known as excellent diplomats. And in that sense, the ideas may integrate effectively. Scorpios. Scorpios have this instinctual desire to merge and to integrate with energy. And so some of the challenges with Scorpio is that with that merging, And really, it's them connecting deeply to the passion, the desire, the source energy at the core of it all. And they become devoted and passionate and fixed in that merging. And so it can really bring about this experience of losing oneself, right? Or like that separation can be really hard once they've really immerse or enmesh themselves with that energy. And so naturally, they do have this tendency to connect through merging or through integration. Sagittarius, they have a deep desire to merge with nature, and they're really naturally connected to that divine essence, that oneness within all things. And it's really easy for them to, I would say, connect more with that in nature than say with humans. Essentially, it's easier to penetrate those veils to connect with that source energy. And within even their archetypal nature, within the way they're represented, say in astrology, they literally embody dual worlds, that of being human and that of being animal or some sort of connection to nature. So they are natural shapeshifters in that way, and they hold both realms and it's integrated into one. So they are also in this sense too the bridge and the channel between the nature spirits and the human collective. And then finally, Pisces. Pisces is the ethereal bridge. It holds the space between this world and other worlds. They can easily shapeshift and merge with other energies. So, similar to Scorpio, they connect to that core essence, that love, that desire, that oneness, and they can easily lose themselves with that. And with Pisces, that losing is, I mean, I feel with Scorpio, they have a tangible, there's something tangible there that they grasp to. But with Pisces, it's like, it's that mutable water is what we call it. So kind of that vapor, that evaporation, and that loss of self through many different aspects, through emotions, through spiritual, ethereal connections, and so forth. And so, at their core, Pisces embodies the essence of oneness, love, and compassion. Planets to consider are the moon. As the moon goes between the different phases, it's watery or associated with watery and flow, and there's emotions and so forth. And so, with disciples of the moon, the different phases, these are bridges, like their own source of a bridge that helps us to feel or become more connected and more integrated with ourselves, with our emotional body, and with other ethereal or spiritual energies. Mercury is the bridge and the translator in the sense of ideas and words and just energetic connection. So Mercury is one of the planets that's known to thrive in both worlds, in the I guess you could say middle world, and then also the underworld. So they hold the ability to go both sides and to shapeshift in that way. Venus is the planet, of course, as I mentioned in previous starseed group, that they hold that energy of union, of harmony, of balance. And through this ability to connect to even that oneness through love, through harmony, through connection, they can see both sides, and they can find that place where they can meet in the middle, and the two sides can merge. And then Neptune is excellent at dissolving boundaries, so merging and integration can take place. So take note that these themes may show up as strengths, but they can also show up as shadow points that will ultimately provide opportunities for connecting more deeply with Earth.
Now let's talk about Hadar, also known as Beta Centauri. This energy of these star seeds is like presence, authority, stabilization. So Hadar star seeds are carry this very like calm, grounding authority to them. They are the people that you don't seek leadership, but it tends to find them. The others naturally look to them in moments of uncertainty, not because they're the loudest voice, but because their presence feels steady. They tend to lead through example, right? And they lead through that consistency. They lead through that embodied calm. And so they're the ones that often can sit through the discomfort without rushing it. And that alone stabilizes the space. So the challenge for Hadarian starseeds really are being placed in leadership roles either too early or feeling responsible for outcomes that they didn't even choose. They may
Mhm.
struggle when it comes to leadership, when leadership steps into more of that arena of performance, political, or forced nature, because that's when authority then turns into pressure, right? The gift that they hold is this quiet leadership. So to integrate these star seeds, really, it comes down to remembering that you don't have to hold everybody up. Their presence alone is enough. So this Hadar energy really leads best when it's allowed to be natural and not demanded of them.
So indicators of Hadar, aka Beta Centauri, star seeds in the birth chart include themes of presence, authority, and stabilization. Signs that reflect these themes the most are Taurus, Leo, Virgo, Scorpio, Capricorn, and Aquarius. And of course, this is most important if your rising sun and moon are placed in these signs, or you have two or more planets in these signs as well. So, Taurus, of course, Taurus has a very strong presence. It's grounded, it's stable, resourceful, dependable, and people tend to really feel comfortable with Taurus. So, it helps that with that stabilization and feeling safe. Leos, they have a very strong presence and they have this focused passion that really helps to, for like leadership roles to naturally find them. They are natural, like they can take authority naturally and in a way that's not like over dominating, right? There's like this fun and creative and brilliant aspect of authority that comes along with them, especially when they're in leadership roles. And they can be very consistent, especially when they have a direct connection to their passion, to their internal fire. And that connection radiates, outside of themselves, which again leads to that natural leadership, leads to people magnetizing to them and feeling safe and feeling inspired to follow the lead for the path ahead. Virgo, similar to Taurus, is very resourceful, dependable, grounded, and safe. They also can absolutely withstand discomfort, almost maybe to a fault. So, one of the challenges for Virgo is that they can lose themselves and kind of overwork themselves when it comes to being of service, when it comes to leadership, but they are very calm and they are very grounded in their service. And so that Virgo essence can really reflect the Hadar star seeds. Scorpio is very present. They are natural leaders. Again, even if they don't really seek out leaderships, I feel Scorpio doesn't necessarily seek out to be the leader, but their presence, their focus, their drive, and discipline the leadership roles essentially find them. They are very consistent. They have strong will and their personal authority, right? Having that strong discipline within themselves is what is admired and again brings forth this natural leadership role. And they can also withstand discomfort really well. They're very calm in the midst of chaos, which again they leads them to having that strong presence, I would say. Capricorn is probably the first sign, at least for me, when taking this into consideration, the first sign of being the natural leader, the authoritative figure, or the authority figure, as they are looked upon in the zodiac as this archetype. They are disciplinarians, they're very consistent, calm, and they're able to create a safe container through their organization, through their structure and dependability that helps with their consistency, and also helping others feel safe and calm. So the planets to consider for Hadar starseed reflection is actually just purely Saturn, as Saturn is the planet of presence, the planet of authority, the planet of physicality and stabilization and structure and discipline. And so it really holds that connection to Hadar starseeds. And again, as previously mentioned, these themes may show up as strengths, but also can show up as shadow points that ultimately provide those opportunities for connecting more deeply with Earth.
And that brings us to Polaris. Polaris starseeds carry the energy of orientation, guidance, and true north, as Polaris is the North Star. So Polaris starseeds are the way showers or the way finders, right? They have this really strong internal compass. So even when they don't know the destination, they normally can tell that something feels off course within them. Others often come to them for guidance, not necessarily advice, but to feel orientated again. And they are also really good in chaos. They're good in transitions. They're good when things feel unclear because they have their own internal compass, right? And because of this, these star seeds can carry this quiet responsibility to hold course, to keep everything aligned, to make sure nobody gets lost. And that's where we enter the shadow aspect characteristics of this star seed. You feel like you have to be steady for everybody else, even when you're tired. But the gift is that direction without force, right? So, how we can integrate if you're this star seed is really remembering that you are the guide, not the destination. So, this Polaris energy really thrives when guidance is shared, not just a solo act carried only on their shoulders.
So, indicators of Polaris star seeds in the birth chart include themes of orientation and guidance. Signs that reflect these themes the most are Gemini, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, and Aquarius. And of course, this is most important if your rising sun and moon, along with two or more planets, are placed in this sign. So, Gemini. Geminis are often associated with maps, with navigation, with language, and with knowledge and learning. And so, in their own way, this can strengthen the internal compass as you feel more comfortable and more grounded with finding yourself or finding the path ahead due to this ability to read or speak other languages or to have that ability to naturally learn and take in information from your environment. Scorpios are deeply intuitive. They have this deep intuitive compass that's within them, and it helps them to deeply penetrate the energetic field. And so they also are able to stay centered in chaos and intense energy through that internal knowingness, through their internal compass. And so that can help them to move forward on the path ahead and also guide others. Sagittarius is most likely the most dominant reflection of Polaris starseed energy. As they are natural guides, they're considered to be the sage of the zodiac, the wise person in the forest. They are attuned to the divine intelligence of the world around them. And so they're able to receive the guidance in the midst of chaos. They can connect to the natural elements, the natural world to receive the messages or even receiving their anchor points or what's the next best step as they move forward on their path. So they're sensing and tuning into the natural world around them as they have this innate connection to source energy within all things. Capricorns are very grounded and stable, so we naturally feel comfortable letting them take the lead, or they just have this confidence of knowing what's ahead and being ready and being ready and prepared for what's ahead. And they're great at creating action plans to help others feel safe in the transition and to help them feel more grounded and confident in moving forward along the path. Aquarius, their intuitive compass is anchored in their open channel to cosmic energy. They are the visionaries of the zodiac through this divine channel. And so they're able to guide others through that vision and through just that open channel and that celestial compass. Planets to consider for the Polaris starseed connection. We have the moon, and the moon literally guides us through her cycles. And she's considered to be the lantern at night. So she helps us to find our way in even the dark nights, but on those full moon nights as well, she is our guiding light in the evening time. Jupiter is, in its sense, a representation of orientation through our expanded consciousness, or more so that guide in helping us to find our way and to find our quote unquote path through the expansion of connection with source, connection with divine intelligence, and so forth. There's that expanded consciousness representation there. And then with Saturn, similar to Capricorn energy, it provides that orientation through structure, through action plans, and through time and physicality, essentially. So again, take note that these themes may show up as strengths, but can also show up as shadow points that will provide you opportunities for connecting more deeply with Earth.
So, if any of this resonated with you, just let it land gently. You don't need to step into any specific roles. You don't need to claim any specific identity. Just notice what your system is relating to guidance, leadership, and direction. Because not all leaders stand in the front. Some here are to help others remember where they're going. So, this is just little nuggets of different star seeds, and this is just the beginning of the series. So, if you are watching just this one, make sure you check out the rest.
Yeah, thank you everyone for watching, and feel free to like the video if you enjoy this and subscribe to our channel.